All righty, I think I'm live right now. And I decided just to come on for a super casual live stream. I'm live right now to just chat, answer some questions, give some updates, let everybody know what's going on. So I usually don't come on live on a whim. I generally let people know that I'm coming on live. But it's a beautiful day. I'm in New York. I know a lot of you generally have questions every so often that you want to ask. So I figured I'd come on live and answer some questions and see where it takes us. There's a lot of really just exciting things that are happening all around. By the way, Dr. Sandra Rose Michael is at my home right now. I'm at my parents' house right now. She's staying here for the week and the weekend. We're going to be doing a follow-up interview here in New York, which is going to be awesome. So a lot of your questions are going to be answered. And that interview is probably going to be recorded either tomorrow morning or maybe sometime over the next day or two. So that's going to be great. She is upstairs right now. She's probably resting, but maybe she'll come down and answer some of your questions as well. Somebody said, how is Dr. Zelenko? So for those of you who don't know why that question is asked, I did reach out to somebody connected directly to Dr. Zelenko to offer just let's fly him out to the nearest center and see what the energy enhancement system can do for him. And unfortunately, I didn't get a response. So I guess he's not interested. But we are trying, and maybe he'll change his mind. I wish him the best. I hope he is well. And I hope he has just continued to and will continue to heal in the best way possible. I know he's going through a lot right now. So I did my best to offer whatever we can, and let's see where that takes us. Let's see if he does agree to try it out and see what happens. So let's see. When is Ray back? Alrighty. So there is a potential date and time for the next interview, Disclosure Part 4. And Disclosure Part 5. Disclosure Part 4 is going to be happening. Well, it's already been recorded. And Sean, I will answer you in your email shortly. Disclosure Part 4 is going to be coming out in the beginning of August. Talks about a lot of the spiritually oriented side of what's going on. Reincarnation, how different dimensions work, how the different realms work. Where we come from and where we go. And there are a lot of different answers to that. It's not black and white. It's not just, oh, this is what it is. Based on the choice of what the soul decides to do in the body, it pretty much kind of dictates where you go next. For example, from my understanding and teachings and lessons, a soul who decides to experience the experience of committing suicide in this body, there's a place for that. And it's not about a good place or a bad place. It's just a place based on the resonance that you are in resonance with, the dimension that you are in resonance with, and where you go to next in terms of your next kind of step on your process of ascension. So that's going to be a really interesting interview. It's probably going to come out on 8/8 at 8 p.m., all about infinity, obviously. So August 8th. At 8 p.m., but I will give you more information as I receive more information based on that date and that time and all that. It's going to be awesome. So I'm really, really looking forward to sharing that with all of you. And the reason why and by the way, somebody said it's called hell. No, there is no hell in that way. There are just different places that you go to, all for the purpose of ascension. So somebody said, why would they decide to commit suicide? Let me rephrase what I said. An individual who decides to commit suicide has a certain place that's in resonance with where you go for the soul to experience something in order to further progress through its ascension. Remember, all these dates and times are chosen for specific reasons. It's not just, it's all chosen for a specific reason, dates, times, so on and so forth. But again, there is no good or bad. That's not how these things work. As a matter of fact, there is only good. That's what we have to remember. There is only good. There will always only be good. What we choose to do with the good can turn it into what we experience as bad. But that's up to us. So we'll keep that for disclosure part 4. Disclosure part 5 is going to be interesting, because disclosure part 5 hasn't been recorded yet, but it is planned to be with somebody else from the organization, a woman, a mother, somebody incredible. She is an incredible woman doing incredible work behind the scenes. And I think a lot of the women in this world, the men too, but the women in this world, the mothers in this world, will definitely resonate with this woman in a very different way, with what she shares, just me knowing her. But we haven't recorded it yet, so we will get to that. Bob asked, did Hugo contact you? No, Hugo Talks did not contact me. As expected, I'm open to doing that live stream with him. I will bring him on. I can go on his, whatever anybody wants, but I don't appreciate when somebody comes and says something with absolutely no basis, completely arbitrary. And I will not tolerate that either. So it's okay if you want to say something, but if you make claims, we need proof with those claims. You need evidence with those claims when you're trying to defame an individual on an arbitrary basis. There are a lot of other things going on. You guys know about Unified TV, Unified Social. I still can't move my finger, by the way. For those of you who know, there was a knife that went into my wrist when I went to grab something about a month ago in Miami. And check this out, this finger, look, I can move this finger, but this finger, I can't move it just yet. So I need to retrain this whole thing. As a matter of fact, I couldn't move it at all. And I did sleep in the Verona, New Jersey system, the energy enhancement system. That's, by the way, a part of the Unified Healing Network. And first of all, it's moving a whole lot more, but it just hurts. It hurt. I can move it a little. I couldn't move before. So he said, Jason, do you have a cure for cancer? No, that doesn't exist in the way that you think it exists. There is no such thing as one thing that cures all. Not the energy enhancement system, not any technology that's out there, no matter how elite an individual is who possesses a crazy technology, including any technology having to do with Tesla. Because if you don't take responsibility for your own health, you can't expect to heal. You have to take responsibility for your health. You have to take responsibility for yourself. You have to do what is necessary in all aspects. And only then can you use things along the way like the EESystem and a whole lot more things that are out there to help heal. But it's a multifaceted approach. It's a holistic approach. And as Isaiah said, we are the cure all. We have the cures to all. It's within you. You see, what the energy enhancement system does, you have the ability to do yourself. Fact is that most of us haven't connected to that internal power yet. So the energy enhancement system is one of the tools that just helps you get to that point, spiritually speaking. But you have all the power within you to get to that point. You have all the power within you to heal yourself. Technology like the EESystem does not heal you. You heal you. The EESystem just gets you to a point where you're in a balanced environment so you can go ahead and heal yourself. That's the whole idea here. And that's the reason why I advocate it so much so, because it's not telling you to externalize your power. It's telling you to get to a point where you can actually understand that the power is within you. It's making you take responsibility for your own health and just understanding that this technology, anything out there, is just a part of the path. It's a part of the process along the way. So I want to show you guys something, because I know a lot of you had questions about Unified Healing and the Unified Healing Network that we're going to be speaking more about also in the second interview with Dr. Sandra Rose Michael. And the idea of what this thing is very simple. After putting this interview out, so many people, literally from over 100 countries, wanted to go and still want to go and open up centers all around the world. So I always ask myself, where can I bring value? How can I help these people? And of course, because I like moving very, very fast, I put this whole thing together, onboarded and put together a team that's ready to do this whole thing, built a website very, very quickly to create a network that will help the current and future systems become even more successful a whole lot quicker. Because I know a lot of individuals are going out of their way right now, spending a lot of money to start these centers. So I wanted to bring value to give centers an option. It's not a requirement whatsoever, but to give centers an option, current and future centers an option to be able to use the incredible momentum and platform that we have to their benefit to drive more traffic, to help them succeed even quicker so they don't have to struggle along the way. And that's what we did. And that's what the Unified Healing Network is all about. And current centers are already onboarded onto it. A lot of them out of the 20 already, and more and more and more are going to come. And remember, it's not a requirement whatsoever. It's just something that I wanted to give as a service that's out there to be able to help centers become successful a whole lot quicker. And that's exactly what we did. And it's awesome. And a lot of people are on that, just interacting with this whole thing. This is the website, unifiedhealing.com. It tells you all about what we're doing here, what we're offering, the value that I want to be able to give to centers out there to make them more successful a whole lot quicker. When you click on locations, you'll see 4. There are about to be another 4 more onboarded over the next couple of days. Smithtown, New York, St. George, Utah, Verona, New Jersey, Davidson, North Carolina. You're about to see Ohio. You're about to see Newport Beach, California. You're about to see Ontario and Toronto in Canada, and many, many more that are coming on. And again, the idea of this center is to give people the attention that they need to make sure that those centers are as successful as possible so they can continue operating as easily as possible, and so they can actually go and open more centers around the world. We want to help fund the expansion of this, making it accessible all around the world. And the best part is that if you're a part of this network, it means you adhere to certain requirements to make it as accessible as possible, meaning they cannot charge more than $60 an hour. And I did that because the key over here is to make it as accessible as possible. Unfortunately, there are some people that may take advantage. You know, corruption is a part of the collective consciousness right now. And some people may see demand, so they're going to charge more. We don't want to see that. So we make a requirement, if you're going to be on this network, if you're going to be receiving this service, which, by the way, there is a fee for the center owners because it costs us money to operate. And by the way, any funds that are left over after paying the team, because we have a team running this actual operation of the Unified Healing Network, the leftover funds I'm going to be using to go and purchase more of this technology, put it in inaccessible places around the world, raise awareness, get it all around, bring healing to the world, make headlines to really let people know about what's going on, make headlines by putting it in very peculiar places like Madison Square Garden. The headlines in and of itself that will make will boost every single center all around the world. And that's the idea. We want to build a robust network, and we want to make this as accessible as possible. So if they are on the Unified Healing Network, which is why I drive all of you there, it means they've adhered and they've agreed to those requirements, not charging more than $60 an hour for 2+ hours, by the way. Not charge, give every Unified TV member 10% off. It's awesome. It's awesome what we're doing here. And it's just a way to bring more value to everything that's going on. You know, you don't have to do it. If you choose to do it, I think it's awesome. I think it really is an incredible service that we were able to bring up very, very quickly. We got a team running it behind the scenes. We got people that put together contracts, the whole deal, very, very, very quickly. And I do believe that we're going to be seeing every single state, over 100 countries by, I really do believe, by 2024. I just got stuck. So anyways, if you do choose to want to open up a center and do that, only reach out to the Unified Healing Network once you've secured your center, you're ready to go, or when you're coming soon, and I'll be more than happy to help you really promote and let everybody know about a grand opening. Let's drive traffic. The people who are stepping up to the plate to open these centers, they should not be struggling. They should not be struggling financially. My job is to bring as much traffic to those centers to make sure that they can continue afford to operate and to make sure that they can continue to expand. That's the idea. That's what I'm doing. That's what I know how to do. And that's how we're moving forward. So that's what the Unified Healing Network is all about. And it's great. So make sure to go check out unifiedhealing.com and make sure to check out EESystem.com if you want to purchase a system from them. I don't make $1 off of the sale of any technology. As a matter of fact, I made a deal with Dr. Sandra and her team to say, don't give me any affiliate commission. Give that commission back as a discount to the individuals who are buying these units for centers around the world to make it more affordable. So pretty much the 10% commission that would have came to me, I forfeited the whole thing. I said, give it back to the individuals who are buying the units for centers that are going to be affiliated for this network. And that saves thousands of dollars. So I'm doing whatever I can with everything in my power to make this as convenient as possible, affordable as possible, and just accessible for people to open up centers so we can make this accessible to everybody around the world. So yes, the garden behind me is real. It is a real garden. It's a beautiful place. It's a really, really beautiful place out here. All righty. Another thing, yesterday, and I want to hear who was a part of it, I did something called the Stepping into 5D workshop, which was so sick. It was amazing. If anybody was a part of that that's live right now, please let me know. And why do I wear Equinox shirts? That's a really good question. I'm not affiliated with them. It's just a comfortable shirt, but I agree with you. I'll change that moving forward. It's just a comfortable shirt. I just came back from the gym. So yeah. But yesterday, the Stepping into 5D workshop was unbelievable. There were over 2,000 people who were watching live. And what we did with that, which was actually really cool, was I live streamed that whole thing for free to make it as accessible as possible. I like making things accessible while I can. But again, we also have to make things valuable for Unified TV members, because that's how we got to this point so quickly, because people are supporting this and people are members and people are funding the greater movement here. That is our movement, and it's awesome. So the 5D workshop was unbelievable. Thousands of you tuned in. It was about an hour and a half, an hour and 40 minutes. And if you enjoyed it, and if you just really got value from that, then let people know in the comments. I would love people to go and watch the replay of that 5D Stepping into 5D workshop. And one more thing I want to let everybody know is up until tonight at 11:59 p.m. Eastern time, so you got about 7 hours left, you can still sign up for Unified TV to watch the replay of Stepping into 5D and the replay of everything else. And you can get 40% off if you're not yet a member when you use the discount code 5DJune. So I'm going to pin that as a comment in the live chat right now. And there's a link to sign up over there as well at unified.tv. Make sure you use the discount code 5DJune. And when you use that, you'll get 40% off the lifetime of your membership, which, again, I do my absolute best to make this as accessible as possible. So there's a lot of things happening with Unified TV, a lot of series coming up. The Shift Part 2 is coming up, which is awesome. The Shift Part 2, we got the entire disinformation dozen. We called it the Informed Dozen. It's going to be a back-to-back series, 6 hours a day, 2 days, 12 interviews, with featuring back-to-back interviews of the Informed Dozen, as I like to call them. Just a second. So that's going to be happening on Unified TV in the beginning of July. August, we're going to have Disclosure 4. September, we're going to have a series with Sam the Illusionist, where he's going to be channeling what we call galactic messages from other realms. September, we're going to hopefully have Disclosure 5. In October, for about 2.5 months, I'm going to be having an exclusive original series called Forming the Formless, which is a series based on my book, the first book I've ever written. And that's actually going to be filmed and professionally produced with a background like this that I've already started. So it's going to be awesome. I'm excited to share that with you guys, but there's so much going on when it comes to Unified TV. We have an app coming out shortly, sometime around August. I'm actually going to show you guys the designs that we have right now that we're working on. Right over here, these are just some of the screens of a Unified TV app. It's going to be an app available on your iPhone, on your Android, and also on your Apple TV, Amazon Fire Stick, and all smart TVs. So that's another project that I'm working on right now, but I want to show you guys Unified TV and how the whole thing works. For anybody who decides to join this thing, by tonight, you do get that 40% off when you join with the discount code 5D June, 40% off the lifetime of your membership. So I'm signed in right now. Let's say, for example, if I go here, the Stepping into 5D workshop, does it work? There we go. And you'll be able to watch the entire replay right over here. And it's awesome. Hello, everybody. And that's it. And you get that hour and 50 minutes of a workshop. In addition to that, you also get a bunch of other live events over here. Tonight, by the way, actually in 1 hour, in 45 minutes from now, episode 2 of Accessing Your Higher Abilities is going live, all about understanding and accessing remote viewing abilities with Michael Jaco. That's going to be an incredible one. So make sure to check this out as well. I see there are people already in the live chat that are chatting and talking. So that's going to be awesome. That's under the live events section when you are a Unified TV member. And you get everything over here as well. In addition to that, check this out. If you want to check out some cool workshops that I've done, just type in my name and search the library when you're a member. And one of my favorites is the Raise Your Vibration workshop right over here. It's a really powerful workshop. And it's about, I'll tell you right now, about an hour right over here. That's old when we still had the Academy of Divine Knowledge. And it's just really powerful. It's a really good workshop as well that a lot of you can benefit from. The manifestation workshop is really powerful as well. Also about an hour of content. It's powerful stuff. And I have a few other ones as well, from darkness to light right over here. That's a really powerful one. And just a lot of things that you could see over here. So make sure to check that out. And it's exciting stuff. Michael Jaco is going live in 45 minutes on Unified TV. That's going to pretty much talk about everything as well. So it's going to be cool. And it's all a part of the subscription. So if you do want to get that 40% off, it's up until tonight at 11:59 p.m. Eastern time. Use the discount code 5D June. For those of you who don't know how to do it, I'm going to show you because it's very simple. I know some people misunderstand how to do it and get confused. You literally go right over here. I'm going to sign out to show you how to do it. And then I'm going to answer some more of your questions. So let's say I was logged out. You go to unified.tv, join Unified TV, and you have to click this. Click here to enter your code. You type in 5D June, apply, and that will give you the 40% off the lifetime of your membership under $20 a month. You get everything on the platform, or you go annual. It's completely up to you. But either one works, and it's awesome. It works. It's great. And thousands of people around the world are loving it. So make sure to get that and get that done. If you do want to join before 11:59 p.m. Eastern time tonight, discount code 5D June before it expires. Let's answer some more questions. I know a lot of you have some questions. Please help, says my email won't work. Please email unified, contact@unified.com. I don't deal with that directly, but we do have a team of multiple individuals at this point to get to that point. So I want to address something. Somebody's saying, Jason, I really do like you. I understand what you were saying, but I don't trust Michael Jaco. First of all, I really love the man. I've met him multiple times in person. He's an incredible human being. But remember, not everybody's going to resonate with everybody. And that's fine. There are a lot of people who think that I'm doing things for the wrong reasons. There are a lot of people who are on the exact opposite side of that spectrum. So remember, it's all good. You don't have to love everybody. You don't have to like everybody. You're going to have people you agree with. You're going to have people you don't agree with. I stand by Michael. I think he's an incredible man. I think he's a very, very powerful guy. I think he has good intentions. I hear good things about him. I hear bad things about him. I trust my intuition, and he'll say the same thing. So trust your intuition. You don't have to agree with me about him, but I love the man. I think he's an incredible man. And that's why I support him, and it doesn't mean I agree with everything he says, and he doesn't agree with everything that I say, but it's all good. So remember, it's just about understanding we're not all going to love everybody, but it's all good. Okay, I have to take this thing off of my water bottle because I keep getting stuck on my chair. Somebody said, where do you get all this energy, Jason? You are very consistent. Like how? It's a good question. Let me tell you something. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. But things like this energize me. As you can hear, my voice is getting lost a little bit. So I do have to take a break every so often. I am going to Mexico in a few days to take a break and just disconnect for a second because I do need to recharge. So just remember that just because you see me with all this energy every so often or all the time, as you guys say, doesn't mean that I don't have my bad days. It doesn't mean that I don't have my emotional breakdowns. It doesn't mean that I have my breakdowns. I had a breakdown yesterday. It happens. But it doesn't mean that you're doing something wrong. It means you're a human being. So remember, we are all one and the same in that way. I have my good days. I have my bad days. I stay consistent because this is my mission. This is my mission. This is what I'm here to do. I would say the biggest thing that probably drains me the most, that I'm much better today with, but the biggest thing that drains me the most, and it's something that I have to work on, is when people go and just say things that it's like, why are you like, what's wrong with you? Where people are like, oh, he's part of the United Nations, or, oh, he's doing it all for the money, or, oh, he's corrupt, or, oh, this. And it's like, I know that I shouldn't be listening to that. But again, I'm a human with feelings. So when I hear that, it's like, to be honest, there's a piece of me because I'm a human being and I'm like, damn, like it just makes me feel underappreciated sometimes. But I know that that's a minority, and we're here today because the majority of you understand where I come from and my intentions. I understand completely that, that will always happen, and I even speak about that. And I always say, don't let that discourage you. Don't let that take you down. And when I say that, I'm speaking to myself too, because sometimes it takes me down, sometimes I let it take me down, and I get to a point where I'm just like, and I feel like, oh my God, whatever, I'm a human being. So it's just, it's not easy. I love what I do. It's not easy. I have hard days. I have days where I feel like I'm failing. I have those fears that come up every so often, like everybody else, that I just feel like I'm failing. I'm not doing it right. I'm not doing it the right, whatever that means. It's just the ego coming at you and saying whatever it needs to say. But yeah, I do have those feelings. So that's how I keep my energy. I keep moving forward, but it doesn't mean I don't have hard days. I do have hard days. And those hard days actually have happened a lot over the past few days. That's probably why I lost my voice. I've been exerting a lot of energy. But I just do my best, and people will be people and say what they're saying and whatever it is. I just do my best. And I can't appease to everybody. I can't appeal to everybody. I can't get everybody to love me. There are some people that really don't like me. And I guess it's just a part of it. There's nothing we could do. Okay, any other questions? Let's see if Sandra will come down. Let me text her 1 second. What should I tell her? Tell her, come down if you have energy. One second. Okay, I just texted her. Let's hope she comes. Do I have a girlfriend? No, I do not have a girlfriend. I'm just looking at the questions right now. You're growing, the harder it is, the more you grow. Thank you. How do I get a hold of you, Jason, without money? You can't get a hold of me even if you paid, because I don't do sessions anymore. Let me speak about something because it's important. I get a lot of emails every single day, so much so that if I looked at every single one of them, I would not have energy left. So I just don't take it personally if I don't answer you. I stopped doing one-on-one sessions for the time being because I can't. I don't have the energy for it. It's not a good use of my time right now, and I can't give you what I could have given you a year ago in my one-on-one sessions when I was more focused on that because I have so many things going on. So if I don't answer, please don't take it personally. I don't answer most, just so you know. And it's not because I don't like you, and it's not because I think I'm better. I know that sometimes people take it that way. It's just, I have to pick and choose. I really do. And I don't even see all the messages because there's a team of people that are operating with that. There's a team of people that are operating that whole side. There's a full team of people behind the unified platform, behind unified.com, unified TV, unified healing, jasonshurka.com. And it's like, I never knew that I'd be running such an operation so quickly from the moment that I started. I never knew. I knew that it had potential, but this is an operation. It's an operation that takes a lot of energy. It costs a lot of money to run. There's a fear that I let go of, but I want to share it with all of you here. There was a point about 3 months ago, and I was actually sitting at dinner with this awesome, awesome human being, me and her in Texas when I was there. And she said something at dinner that really helped me. But pretty much my fear was, what if I fail? There are people who have quit their jobs and changed their lives because because they wanted to be a part of the unified TV and the unified platform team. And they're on salaries and they're getting paid every month. And some of them have kids and they're counting. And my fear was, it's like, oh my God, there's so much weight on my shoulders because they're counting on me. And the ability that I have to keep this going to feed their families. And that scared the hell out of me. But she said something at dinner. She said, remember that you're not the one doing this. You're not the one that brought it here. It's happening through you. So don't feel the pressure of something that's on you when you're just a medium of letting that thing flow through you. That's when I understood that it's not me. It's like, I'm really going to use the word God. It's just divine intelligence and this divine flow that just flows. And it's not so much the results that I attach to. It's that, like, you guys got to understand there's a people with families that count on their salaries and their income to be able to continue living that work for this team. And I guess because I'm human, I'm like, oh my God. Again, that fear comes in. What if it fails? What if I fail those people? So a few months ago, I transcended. And I came to understand it has nothing to do with me. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. And they're going to keep receiving what they're receiving as incredible. I'm going to call them soldiers of this operation. And I'll tell you why I call them soldiers. There's a woman, incredible, incredible girl. She is pretty much the main operation runner. I think Sandra's coming out of the team, and she's getting married this week, and she took off. And I told her, go enjoy. Don't text me. I don't want to see your name on my phone. And I said, go enjoy. You need a break. You've been working straight for a year. Go enjoy. And she's still following up, even though she's getting married like in a couple of days. She's still following up because she's like, I can't. This is my mission. That's why I call them soldiers. We have a special guest. We're live right now. Okay, let's get comfy. All righty, let's do this thing. Take this chair. You got about 550 people with us right now. Right here, let's make sure that we got it. So I was telling them that we're doing the, oh, I'm sorry, are you good?
Yeah.
That we're doing another interview. I thought it would be good to answer some questions here. It could be like practice for the interview. To answer some questions as well and see where they're all at. So right now, this is on a delay, by the way. So that's us. But we are live on YouTube right now. Everybody, for whoever doesn't know this amazing woman, it's Dr. Sandra Rose Michael. She's here for the next few days. We're going to be filming another interview, and she's going to be answering some of your questions as well. So I know a lot of you had questions, but I actually want to start with the first one.
Okay.
One of the most important ones, with taking responsibility. A lot of people tend to externalize their power to everything.
Right. Look for something outside.
Exactly.
It's all
And I think the most important message from you is to help explain how this technology works and how there are other things that have to be done along the way. And it's not just go and experience a miracle. It's miracles happen with that responsibility. So take it away.
Yeah. I talk about responsibility, the ability to respond, because it's activating the light within you. So it is that inner process, really, it's literally activating the light at the core of your own DNA, your own God code, so to speak. But it's also about giving you your body the energy to heal. It's like plugging the body back into the cosmic light socket, source energy. But it's also about connected to the infinite intelligence. And so it's about having the energy to change your mind, to change your diet, having the energy for empowerment, because empowerment means making healthier, more intelligent, more informed choices. Because you can't expect to be super healthy if you're still poisoning yourself.
Yep.
And quit paying to poison yourself on top of it. That people do it to themselves. But what would be the point of having the energy and having a miracle healing if you just go back to doing whatever you did that created the dis-ease in the first place? What's the point? You can't keep doing what you've been doing and expect a different result.
100%. And for example, a lot of people were asking, what happened with my aunt, Talia, who experienced all that? What happened over there? How did it happen? And I want to just like emphasize and help you all remember that incredible things happened in that system. But there was a protocol that she was following with that. There's a protocol that Dr. Sandra tells you to do specifically when you're doing things like this for this technology to work even better, because it's not the technology that's healing you. It's you that's healing you. The technology provides that like field and space for the body to do its thing. I hope I'm getting that right.
Yeah, it's light force energy. Literally, photons are your quantums of light. So that's your light force energy. It's like laser light. It's coherent, cohesive, unified fields of light,
Awesome.
Which is cool. But it's still up to you where you go with the energy or what you do with the energy. And the thing is, it's giving the body the charge. So the first thing that the body wants to do when it has more energy is it wants to clean house. It wants to discharge everything that ever created the dis-ease in the first place. It's like the body's trying to push toxins and the glyphosates. We're living in such a toxic soup. The body be trying to push everything out of every nook and cranny it can get it out of. So one of the most important protocols we also use is the detox bath.
And that's what I wanted to ask you. Can you explain some of the things when it comes to the protocol in general? What do you suggest, like the way you eat, what you do with the salt baths and all that? Can you explain that so people understand?
Well, you want to support detox. I drink a lot of water. A lot of dis-ease is simply dehydration.
Okay.
A lot of aging is simply dehydration. But it's also, you want to, like I said, have the energy to make more intelligent, more informed choices. So you make those changes to the, change your mind first, change your thoughts. Again, thoughts creates our reality. That's our manifestation. The body hears every word you say and takes it all very personal.
Yep.
Yeah, that kind of thing. You want to support the detox is saying all your prayers. Focus on what you want, not what you don't want. And yes, we see miracles, and that's a wonderful thing. That it's also a lot of that healing is with doing those detox baths too, because that's so important, because the skin is the largest organ of elimination. It's the third kidneys. When the body is trying to discharge and release things out of every nook and cranny, the easiest way to work with that is it's old purification, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the salt of the earth. Everybody goes Epsom salt, and I go, no, not Epsom salt, sea salt, real salt. Dead sea
What is
salt.
Epsom salt, by the way? It tastes
Magnesium.
like garbage.
Magnesium sulfate.
That's what Epsom salt is. I'm like, this isn't salt. I don't know what's going on here.
No, it's not really a salt. It's magnesium sulfate. And so
Interesting.
versus sodium, but your sea salts have a whole mix of different minerals, and each one has different frequencies. So we hypercharge an EE salt,
Okay.
what we call it. And when Fukushima happened, I figured we've got to get the radiation out of people's bodies quick. So it's a combination. There's a basic bath for pulling radiation. It's 2 cups salt, 2 cups baking soda.
Okay.
So we use a mix of different salts, baking soda, ginger. It's a real good organic ginger, and bentonite, the clay for pooling, and green tea, because that helps support green tea. There's so many studies, but it helps support the integrity of the DNA, and also is very good for radiation issues. So that's what we created, is the EE salt, but the basic recipe is 2 cups salt.
If you use things like good, we're in the middle of something. Have a good day. If you use, let's say, EESystem technology, can I charge water and vitamins and supplements and things like that?
Absolutely, yes.
How does it work? And I know you're talking to a genius here, by the way. And I'm not, when I say that, I mean, she actually has an IQ of about 165. She is a literal definition of a genius. So I need you to use words that everybody understands of how this works.
Okay.
Without giving me Mobius and words that nobody knows. Give me words that we know, so everybody on this call can understand.
Okay. So for example, with water, since you talked about water, and that's so important because the research is that it reduces the surface tension of water by 28%.
And what does that actually mean?
And so what that means is it makes water wetter, so it doesn't have to take as much of the body's energy to hydrate or get the water into the cells. Otherwise, about 10% of the body's energy is used just trying to get water. And
so it's more hydrating because you can absorb more of that water.
Right. And actually get it into the cells.
That's very interesting. Okay. So that's what you're made up of 70% water.
Right. And that's part of how the technology works, because of the effect on water.
Interesting.
Yeah. And water, of course, that's your H2O. So it's hydrogen and oxygen. So
can you explain in some form of like a simplistic way of how it does that to water? Because people like me, we see screens with lights and lines.
Yeah.
So what is it doing?
Looks like broken computers.
Colorful broken computers.
Yeah, but it's pretty. It's designed to look like 12 strands of DNA on the screen. That's like scrolling, and that's your polychromatic, or your ultimate color therapy going on. But you have that, but the intersection of the fields creates an implosion event and a release of charge. Well, so that charge then, in combination with the scalar, which can embed, because it's, I know you didn't want me to talk the science, nonlinear, non-Hertzian, fifth dimensional standing.
We don't know what that means. We don't know what that means.
Never mind. Yeah. But it is the biophysics of the body.
I understand.
It really interfaces. I guess the easiest way to say it's extraordinarily bioactive fields. It's
Okay.
energy the body relates to and can use to heal. And it's energy that, it's going to enhance water, but it'll enhance supplements or the medallions and bracelets. It carries that charge and helps the body remember its own ideal optimal form.
Do you need any form of medical background to operate this technology in a center somebody wants to open?
No.
How do you get
because
around
it's
the medical claims of, what's being shared here?
Well, it's just healthy energy.
So it's
just
like the
healthy
equivalent
energy.
of representing, not that it's the same, but it's the equivalent as representing it as like, come listen to frequency music.
Yes.
Not
similar
that
to
it's the same, but the same
Mhm.
thing in terms of
Yeah.
like legality, I guess.
Yeah. It's like ideal meditation states. It's a kind of so it kind of falls under a biofeedback kind of thing, but it's just healthy energy. There is no contraindication. It's just creating a healthy, energetic environment.
I understand.
That's like the ideal environment we would have in an ideal world.
One thing that I found really cool is when you mentioned on the bigger units, it's covering a radius of 2.2 miles. Is that correct?
Right.
It's like a neighborhood that you're
Yeah.
feeding.
Well, the intention was, how do we heal the world? How do we create healthy community?
Mhm.
We have to be the unified presence that can heal the world. And so we have to come together in that unified fields.
Yep. Yep. That's part of the reason. I know you explained, and I'm not sure if you said it in the interview, but you explained the need to create a grid where when you have enough of these all over the world, you literally create a field around the world that connects. And the more you have, the more complete that grid is. And that was actually one of among many other forms of inspiration, one of the reasons why I chose to go ahead after the interview and do the Unified Healing Network. Because if we can help people get those centers up as quick as possible, there's not the one thing that stops people is how do we fund this thing,
Right.
and then we get people together and do that whole thing, which we're working on.
Yeah.
But
which is brilliant
it's
to put people together, because that is what is so important, that people need to come together in their communities. We want healthy communities, but also imagine it's like earth acupuncture. Yeah. And it's working with the grids within the planet, around the planet. It's like Tesla's work, where it's creating these fields of consciousness that makes it easier for people to access those fields of consciousness of true best and highest. The alignment with true best and highest. That's our exponential potential. It's our greatest life, greatest potential. And that's what it's designed to support and create, versus all this distortion of fields. We're living in such a toxic soup of the EMF, ELF, radiation, microwave.
the whole deal.
Yeah, radiation.
Yeah, it's radiation.
And all varieties of radiation unzip the DNA. We got unified fields, we don't put the DNA back in its original form. And then the active hydrogen aspect, that repairs those covalent hydrogen bonds. So it's the actual effect on the DNA is profound.
It's unbelievable. I slept in the Verona, New Jersey location, who, by the way, is a part of the network that we built already.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Lewis. And it was interesting because first of all, I was so tired, I knocked out. But for about 5 days after, this was last weekend, for about 5 days after, I just had clarity. Meaning, thank God I didn't have to go and heal something specific.
Right.
But it was like somebody came and like tuned me.
Yeah, it's like a fine tuning. But it's the optimal brain states. With clarity, but it's your ideal optimal brain states, the way it synchronizes right and left brain hemispheres. So that's your whole brain thinking, but it's opening up the neural pathways.
Yep.
The synapses are firing, it's oxygenating the brain.
Gotcha.
So it's a natural high in a sense, but it's just the brain, how it's meant to work in genius type states.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, listen, I told everybody already we're doing an interview. So you guys can expect an interview to come out probably within the next 2 weeks, I'd say end of June, beginning of July. I just need some time to edit and put the whole thing as quick as I can. And and we'll go real deep into just everything, talking about any questions. I have a list of questions with an outline that I'm going to be asking you either tomorrow or whenever we record it. And we'll take it from there, and we'll share more about the initiative that we're starting here. I genuinely believe that we can bring this, and I know that we can bring this to over 100 countries on earth within the next 2 to 3 years, contingent on 2 things. Number one, you can produce them fast enough. And number 2, enough of us come together to make that happen. There is no reason why that shouldn't happen. But remember, and I can't stress this enough, this is a piece of the puzzle. There is nothing external out of you that if you depend on completely will just save you. That power is within you. And part of what this technology does is help you realize that power is within you. That's why I love it so much. It's not saying you got to do this and give your power away. It's saying you can do this to help you remember ultimately that the power resides within. That's what I do all along. That's what my work is all about. And that's why I support you and I love you and thank you.
Thank you.
And let's just keep doing what we're doing. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Any last words you want to share with anybody here?
Everybody needs to keep breathing light, breathing love, and letting go of everything in the way of our greatest life, greatest love here on earth, as is in heaven, through us now. It's time.
All righty. Well, we're gonna wrap it up, but we're gonna be doing more of this in the interview that's coming up. Again, end of June at some point, it's going to come out. So make sure to tune into that. We're going to go deeper into all those questions. So you guys can really tune in and share that official second interview far and wide, just as the first one went. By the way, I just heard as of this morning, Dr. Sandra's team received about 70,000 emails since that first interview, which means we're making millions and millions and millions of impressions all around the world, which is awesome. So I appreciate you guys sharing this the way that it needs to be shared. I am just looking forward to continuing to do this. A lot came out of nowhere. I did not think that 10 days ago I would be starting this whole new initiative of that whole unified healing network that we're doing, and it's quick.
Yeah,
and
we weren't prepared for all of this either.
It's really, really quick. So we're doing great work. I'll share some links below so you guys can learn more about some of the things that we spoke about here with the unified platform and the unified healing network, and more of Dr. Sandra's work and just everything that we're doing here. So make sure to check that out and just keep your eyes out for the upcoming interview. We'll share more information, and I look forward to continuing this journey with each and every one of you. So thank you. I love you. And thank you for being here.
Thank you. Aloha.
All righty. Let me